In one of the stars I shall be living, in one of them I shall be laughing. And so it will be as if the stars were laughing when you look at the sky at night.
Welcome to the annual Penn Medicine Service of Remembrance. I'm Stephanie Wilson, the Chaplain and Bereavement Administrator for Penn Medicine at Home. We are honored to have you join us this afternoon as we take time to commemorate those loved ones no longer with us in our service of remembrance. Today, I greet you from the beautiful Chapel of Light here in Princeton, New Jersey. My colleagues will also be joining us from our hospice inpatient unit on Lombard Street in Philadelphia, as well as Olivet United Methodist Church in the heart of beautiful Chester County. During this hour, we will share music, artistic presentations, and commentary, and we hope that you notice a theme emerging throughout our time together, and that is a theme of light and hope. For all of you who have suffered a loss, the loss of a loved one, we know that hope can be evasive and difficult to hold on to. But in our collective journeys of loss, light and hope are a necessary component to keep us engaged in life. Today, as we remember them, you will have an opportunity to share their light, so to speak, with all of us. There's a chat box available to you throughout the service where you can type in the name of your loved one that has died, or share a message to them, or even a memory. Again, feel free to use the chat throughout the entire service. Towards the end of the service, we will be engaging in a ritual of candle lighting to honor our loved ones. In the opening slide, we ask that you consider having an object of meaning, a ring, a scarf, a memento from your loved one, or a candle to light during the service. These objects may support you throughout the service and through the ritual. It is also perfectly fine if you choose not to have a candle or an object. Instead, you can just center your heart on your loved one during that portion of the service. Our staff will be lighting candles throughout the service, and our intention in lighting these candles is to join you as we remember them. It's now my pleasure and honor to welcome the Medical Director of Penn Medicine at Home, Dr. Nina O'Connor, who is coming to us from Penn Hospice at Rittenhouse.
Welcome to our Service of Remembrance. This is our second year of a virtual gathering, which gives us an opportunity to bring even more people together. But it also marks the second year of this ongoing pandemic that has required so many changes to our beloved traditions like the Service of Remembrance and also how we connect with each other. My name is Nina O'Connor. I'm the Chief Medical Officer of Penn Medicine at Home, which includes Penn Medicine Hospice. And I'm also a hospice physician. I take care of patients at our inpatient unit, Penn Hospice at Rittenhouse, and I may have met some of you and your loved ones there. I'm also one of our home hospice physicians supporting one of our Chester County-based teams. In these roles, I have the privilege of walking alongside seriously ill patients and their families, which is really an honor because end of life is a sacred time. In my leadership roles, I support our hospice clinicians and teams, and I get to witness every day the amazing work that they do with people in our community. This has been a year of tremendous contrasts. On the one hand, we've experienced great hope, more hope than we did last year when we had this service. For example, I remember when the vaccines were first approved and watching footage of them being delivered to some of our hospitals. When I received my first vaccine, I remember crying tears of hope, thinking that hopefully life was starting to return back to normal. This year, we've also had lessening of some of the restrictions. We've been able to see people we love again. The past spring brought return to visiting my grandmother after a year, We've watched our children return to school and some of the activities that mark normal childhood. We also want to focus on hope. The cases of COVID are falling, vaccines are working, we're starting to see some light through the pandemic. And I want to lift up personal hope as well, that despite loss, healing and meaning are ahead for each of us. And we are here to help you. So thank you for joining. We hope that you enjoy the program today and that it continues to bring you hope and healing.
Hello, everyone. My name is Susan Foster, and I'm the Hospice System Director for Penn Medicine. It is my honor and pleasure to be with you today to welcome you to the service of Remembrance. This is a time to share our stories and support one another. Your hospice team cares deeply about you and your loved ones. They share your grief, and they are here, albeit virtually, to continue to support you. I receive many cards, emails, and letters about this hospice team and the outstanding interdisciplinary care they provide. They are frontline workers, heroes, and angels, and I'm glad they made a difference in your life. Another difficult year is behind us. Many of you have experienced unimaginable loss among the turmoil present in today's world. When we are faced with tragedy, gale force grief fools us into thinking no one has ever felt this way. You are not alone. When you are grieving, certain times of the year that used to be all pumpkin spice and everything nice get spiked with sadness, and that sadness threatens to take away joy, happiness, and engagement with others. You are not alone. I am reminded of the story of The Beautiful Heart by Alexander Smith. A young man was proud of his healthy and beautiful heart. One day, standing in the middle of town, he proclaimed that he had the most beautiful heart in the whole valley. A large crowd gathered to have a look at his heart. His heart was smooth, shiny, and looked very healthy. Indeed, the man had the most beautiful heart in the valley. Everyone agreed. The proud young man felt delighted and boasted his perfect heart, which everyone admired. Suddenly, a voice from the crowd said, "Your heart is not as beautiful as mine." The young man searched for the person behind the voice, and an old man appeared in front of him. "Show us your heart if you believe you've got a more beautiful heart than mine," said the young man. The old man carefully showed his heart. The crowd and the young man looked at the old man's heart. The heart was beating strongly and healthily, but it was not smooth and shiny as the young man's heart was. Instead, it had scars all over it. It had places where some pieces of the heart had been removed and other pieces were put in. The other pieces didn't fit perfectly, and there were several uneven edges. In some places, there were deep gouges where some pieces were missing. The young man looked at the old man's heart and laughed. "You must be kidding. Compare your heart to mine. My heart looks perfect and smooth, and yours is a mess of scars and tears." "Yes, your heart looks perfect, but I would never trade your heart with mine," said the old man. "Every scar in my heart represents a person whom I have given my love. I tear a piece of my heart and give it to them. Often my loved one gives me a piece back, which fits into the empty place in my heart. Since everyone loves each other in a different way, their piece of heart may not fit perfectly in my heart, so you can see some rough edges. These scars and rough edges remind me of the love we shared," he continued. "Sometimes I would give a piece of my heart, but the other person may not return a piece of his heart to me. These are the empty gouges. Although these gouges are painful, these remind me of the love I have for these people too. So do you now see what a true beauty my heart is? Asked the old man. The young man walked to the old man, reached into his perfect young beautiful heart, ripped a piece out of it, and offered it to the man with trembling hands. The old man gratefully received his offering, placed it in his heart, and then took a piece from his old heart and placed it in the young man's heart. The young man looked at his heart. It did not look shiny and smooth like it used to, but it was now more beautiful because he could feel the love from the old man's heart flowing into him. This is hospice care, giving a piece of oneself to unselfishly care for patients and you, their families, and loved ones. I invite you to a moment of peace and quiet with a gentle meditation called Even in the Dark. You can close your eyes or gaze softly ahead, relax in your chair, take a deep breath in, and release it. Seldom seen, growing along the ocean floor, the white-plumed anemone is a watery blossom. It is white lace opening under a ton of black, opening as if bathed in the sun while so far from the sun. This is the trick to staying well, to feel the sun even in the dark, to not lose the truth of things when they go out of view, to grow just the same, to know there is still water when we are thirsty, to know there is still love even when we are lonely, and to know there's still peace even when we are suffering. None of this invalidates our pain, but only strengthens our way back to the light. Close your eyes, take a gentle breath in and release it. And as you close your eyes, feel the fact of the sun. It will be there when you can see again. Inhale deeply through the part of your heart that is closed and feel the fact of love. It will be there when you can feel again. Breathe slowly through the part of you that doubts and feels the fact of life. It will be there when you can open your spirit as you did when you were born. I wish you peace in your journey ahead, and remember, you are not alone.
We all look to make a difference in our world and leaving a legacy when we depart. Doris Plager did just that in a beautiful way.
In the face of her own tragic losses, Doris chose to give back to grieving youth. Her generosity, resilience, and love lives on as an inspirational reminder to do good.
Doris helped make it possible for children throughout the region to come together to support one another in their grief. Her light shines through every camper and volunteer at Camp Aaron, Philadelphia.
Good afternoon. My name is Michelle Brooks. I am the Director of Psychosocial Services for Penn Medicine at Home. Part of this role is directing a unique child bereavement program. Today, I am coming to you from the David Bradley Children's Room at Penn Medicine Hospice at Rittenhouse, a room dedicated to the memory of David Bradley and a tribute to his beloved mother and our friend Doris Plager. David Bradley was only 13 years old when his father died. He never forgot the social worker who helped him navigate the loss. The experience had a positive influence on his personal and professional life, and it was his wish that someday he would be able to help children and teens in similar circumstances. Upon David's untimely death at age 28, his mother, Doris Bradley Plager, found the courage to turn her grief into hope by carrying out her son's dream to have a positive influence on grieving children. It was because of David Bradley's dream and Doris's commitment to execute his vision that the David Bradley Bereavement Program has grown through the years. Since 1998, the David Bradley Program has extended help, support, and hope to nearly 20,000 grieving children and families. But we have no measure that captures the positive impact on the future lives of children who have been supported by this program. who, like David, went on to have meaningful lives. Through the years, Doris not only generously supported the program, but rallied friends and family to do the same. But Doris's story is not a simple story of philanthropy. It is a story of purpose and vision, of light and hope. Her enthusiasm to support grieving children was contagious. It was the light in her eyes when talking with grieving kids at Camp Erin or welcoming families to a day at the ballpark. For years, she and her husband, David Plager, would find their way to Camp Erin, an overnight camp for grieving children, not as observers, but as volunteers, doing anything and everything to ensure that the kids had a positive and meaningful experience. In December of 2020, we said farewell to Doris Plager, our friend and visionary. We share her story because it is a story of light and hope, of working through sorrow to find meaning and purpose, of honoring the hopes and dreams of those we have lost. Doris has been an inspiration to all of us at Penn Medicine. We have seen courage in action and the willingness to commit to a lifelong mission of changing lives. In a few minutes, we will share images from the David Bradley Bereavement Program. Guided by counselors, it is possible to find balance in our sorrow, to move not away from our grief, but rather with it, to find connection and purpose, to know that through the tears we can once again find joy and laughter and stay connected to those we have lost. Doris knew intimately, if you are old enough to love, you are old enough to grieve.
When I look outside, the sky is always changing. Sometimes there is light, sometimes it is raining. But when I'm remembering you, the raindrops mix with sunlight, and a rainbow is coming through. When I look inside, I am always changing. Sometimes I am light, sometimes I am rainy. But when I'm remembering you, my raindrops mix with sunlight, and a rainbow is coming through.
I believe, and there's no denying it, it hurts to lose. It hurts to lose a cherished relationship with another or a significant part of one's own self.
It can hurt to lose that which has united one with the past, or that which has beckoned one into the future. It is painful to feel diminished or abandoned, to be left behind or left alone. Yet I believe there is more to losing than just the hurt and the pain.
For there are other experiences that loss can call forth. I believe that courage often appears, however quietly it's expressed, however easily it goes unnoticed by others. The courage to be strong enough to surrender, the fortitude to be firm enough to be flexible.
I believe a time of loss can be a time of learning, unlike any other, and that it can teach some of life's most valuable lessons. In the act of losing, there is something to be found. In the act of letting go, there is something to be grasped. In the act of saying goodbye, there's also a hello to be heard.
For I believe living with loss is about beginnings as well as endings, and grieving is a matter of life more than death, and growing is a matter of mind and heart and soul more than of body, and loving is a matter of eternity more than of time.
Finally, I believe in the promising paradoxes of loss. In the midst of darkness, there can come great light, and at the bottom of despair, there can appear a great hope, and deep within loneliness, there can dwell a great love.
I believe these things because others have shown the way, others who have lost and have then grown through their losing, others who have suffered and then found new meaning. So I know I'm not alone. I am accompanied day after night, night after day.
Good afternoon. My name is Paula Crawford Gamble, and I am a retired captain in the United States Navy and the Penn Medicine Veteran Care Liaison, and currently work with Penn Medicine at Home. It is my privilege to join you today as we pay tribute to those veterans who have served their country and who have received care through Penn Medicine at Home. Some 19 million Americans have the privilege of wearing the title veteran. I, like many of you, am so very proud to be among them. To my fellow veterans, thank you for your service. Today and every day, we take this opportunity to say thank you to those who served and those who serve today. As we did on Veterans Day, let's take a moment to reflect, to recognize that we stand united in our respect for our veterans and for the families who supported them in their commitment to freedom. We remember them for their journey of service and sacrifice, all in the name of the common good. And we, as Americans, benefit from their extraordinary courage in this pursuit. I would also like to remind you of National Wreaths Across America Day on December 18, 2021. The memorial will be helping Wreaths Across America remembering and honoring Americans' military by placing remembrance wreaths on the graves of our fallen service members. You can be a part of this extraordinary act of gratitude by volunteering or sponsoring a remembrance wreath. This afternoon, I join my colleagues at Penn Medicine at Home as we pause to remember those veterans from whom it has been our profound privilege to care for at the end of their lives. Their commitment to our democracy and freedom will not be forgotten, and we will be forever grateful for their service. We pause now to remember some of the many veterans who have allowed us the privilege to serve them when they most needed our care.
have encountered storms, perfect in their drench and wreck.
Each of us bears an ornament of grief, a ring, a notebook, a ticket-torn scar. It is how humans know their kind.
What is known as love? What can become the heart's food stored away for some future famine?
Love remains a jewel in the hand, guarded shared fragments of earth and air, drift and despair.
We ponder what patterns matter, other than moon and tides, musical beats, rumba or waltz or cha-cha-cha.
Cosmic waves like batons, furiously twirling colors, proclaiming sparkle of darkness, as those we love begin to delight in the stars embracing.
Hi, my name is Lisa Kauser.
And I am Dolan Neefsey.
We are bereavement coordinators here at Penn Medicine. We come to you from Olivet United Methodist Church in Chester County. It is our honor to be with you here today as we begin the ritual aspect of our service. Our ritual will begin with the song, We Are Bound. This song was written by our bereavement coordinator and music therapist, Molly Hicks, about the bonds that connect people who are grieving and the enduring bonds they share with those in their lives who have died. In offering this song to you, the music therapy team would like to lift up the support and strength that can be gained from the shared aspects of our grief, while also honoring the differences and the unique grief of each person.
Following the song, we will return briefly to Princeton for a prayer of faith. Then we will engage in our ritual. On the opening slide, we suggested that you may want to have a candle or a memento or meaningful object from your loved one. This is to provide you with some comfort and connectedness to your loved one as we remember them. If you don't have any of these items available or don't want to use them, we invite you to simply center your heart on your loved one during this time. We also want to remind you that the chat continues to be available to you to share the name of your loved one or share a memory or message to them.
There's a cord binding you and me that the rest of the world may not see. Though each end of the cord may be worn from the pain that we both have borne, its strength connects us all, those on earth and those afar. We are bound as one. We are bound as one. Each day we find the strength to rise, brushing tears from our weary eyes. When the grief feels too hard to bear, to ourselves we will show loving care. Lift your head, look through your tears, and discover that I am here. We are not alone. We are not We are here to honor our loved ones, knowing grief is never done. We will share our cherished memories. They come to our minds with ease. And as we travel down this road, to our common chord we'll hold. We are bound as one. We are bound as one. We are bound as one. We are bound as one.
We trust that beyond absence there is presence, that beyond the pain there can be healing, that beyond the brokenness there can be wholeness, that beyond anger there may be peace, that beyond hurting there may be forgiveness, and that beyond the silence there may be the word, that beyond the word there may be understanding, that through understanding there is love.
Now we would like to invite you to take a moment to connect with who your loved one was in this life, with their authentic selves. It's easy to get stuck in thoughts of your loved one's illness or the suffering they endured, but that's not who they were. While it is natural and necessary to focus on the loss, it's equally important to focus on the life, the joy, the hope, the life they shared with you. Take a moment to be present with that feeling as we enter into our candle lighting ritual.
The flame of the candles symbolize remembrance. As we light our own candle in memory of our loved one, let us do so with gratitude that they lived and that we shared their life for a time.
May this light also represent our own rebirth and renewal as we seek meaning in life without those we loved, as we strive for joy, peace, and happiness, as we look to the future's promise with our surviving loved ones and share our lives.
These 4 candles represent the grief, courage, memories, and love, and hope that connect each one of us.
The first candle represents grief. The pain of loss is intense and is a reminder of the depth of love for those no longer present.
The second candle shines for courage, courage to confront sorrow, to comfort one another, and to change our lives.
The third candle illuminates memories, times filled with laughter and tears, times of anger and forgiveness, silly things we shared, the caring and joy. As we enter this holiday season, this flame is a reminder to cherish these special gifts given by our loved ones.
And this last candle is the light of hope. May the glow of the flame continue to radiate as hope and healing continue in the days ahead.
In the rising of the sun and its going down, we remember them.
In the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, we remember them.
In the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them.
In the blueness of the skies and in the warmth of summer, we remember them.
In the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of autumn, we remember them.
In the beginning of the year and when it's in, we remember them.
When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we are lost and sick of heart, we remember them.
When we have joys and special celebrations we yearn to share, we remember them.
So as long as we live, they too shall live, for they are part of us, as we remember them.
Ruth Carter Stapleton stated that we celebrate by giving the light of love to those who need it most. Today, we want to share the light of love with all of you as you have shared the light of your loved one with us. Our music therapy team has created an original piece which was written by various members of the hospice staff. It is a song meant to bring comfort, hope, and healing as you grieve.
Comfort on difficult days, smiles when sadness intrudes,
Rainbows to follow the clouds, laughter to kiss your lips,
sunsets to warm your heart, hugs when spirits sag.
beauty for your eyes to see, friendships to brighten your being,
faith so that you can believe, confidence for when you doubt,
courage to know yourself, patience to accept the truth, love to complete your life.
We want to thank all of you for joining us today as we remember them. In some ways, we learned more about some of them through your comments and tributes in the program chat, and we appreciate that all of you chose to spend a little time with us this afternoon as we honored our loved ones. As we depart from this virtual space, we wish to leave with you a sense of hope that you are not alone as you grieve. And know that the candles that were lit were attempts of sending light and love during this difficult time. Our hope is that this light will illuminate your path when the days get dark and warm your heart when the days get cold. In closing our service, we return to Olivet United Methodist Church in Chester County. We are so grateful to the congregation who has been so generous with us these past 2 years. The Westchester University Dance Company will perform a piece created for today's event specifically for you. It is a dance of light and hope. The music has been written by Penn Medicine Hospice music therapist Anna Cephas. From all of us here at Penn Medicine, we wish you a peaceful evening and light in the days to come.
Oh you.